I think Yi Sang is a boring character. Straight up. All right, everybody. So we are about to do another tier list, but we're going to do the tier list for Canto 4. We did a Canto list for Cantos 1 through 3. I had my tier list. You know, I stood on my business. I stood on peace and prosperity and all that is true and holy. I will not succumb to any kind of weird meta. I keep it a buck. I say what's true to my heart, okay? So here we are again, updating that list now that I understand characters ever so slightly more, okay? So now there's gonna be a Canto list of how I feel about the characters who are now from Canto 4 on. Well, I guess kind of just at Canto 4, like that entire Canto. A lot happened. Okay, so as I usually say, without further ado, let's get the tier list going here. So what we're going to do here is we are going to do this entire tier list from left to right, and you're probably going to notice a couple faces that are like right here. Not Sinclair. He's ass, but like he's not like the issue. It's to the other side of Sinclair. We may have a Yuri and a Kromer, and they're not a part of the team, but for some reason they added them to the tier list, and I'm like, you know what, F it, we ball. So we're gonna add those two to the tier list for the lulz, because literally why not? And let's go ahead and pick up our first option here. So this is what's gonna happen, guys. Our first person here on the tier list is going to be Faust. Now, hear me out. I am extremely objective. I feel like there is nothing but objectiveness that comes from me. So I just want to go on the record and say that none of this is biased, not even a little bit, and honestly just put some respect on the name. Okay? Okay. Whoa, this is so weird. Where did this extra tier come from? I don't know how Faust fell into the perfect in every way tier. God, that's so crazy. I mean, honestly, I feel like it's just meant to be. I don't even understand where that tier came from. That's so crazy. Wow, you know, all she did was really, like, let me break it down for you guys here, chat. I mean, all she really did was like absolute perfection, kept us on the rails the entire time of the Canto, didn't do too much, didn't do too little, made sure that no one did anything too wild, made sure we stayed on topic, and we did what we had to do for the mission. And honestly, without her, the whole thing would have crumbled. It would have absolutely crumbled. And you know, she was out here giving out some roses out here to Yi Sang and was like, hey, we're doing the thing. You know, Faust is Faust. Gave us some banger one-liners. And honestly, I don't know how she couldn't be put in a situation like this, you know, outside of the situation. I don't know. What am I even saying? I don't even know what I'm saying, other than the fact that, like, listen, guys, the only person who could possibly be in this tier is Faust, because honestly, Faust knows all, and in Faust we trust. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it, all right? So we're just gonna drop her casually, respectfully, and honestly, maybe even underplaying it in the perfect in every way category. So that's how we're starting this off, guys. Listen, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. I keep it a buck, I keep it how it is. I don't know. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Next on the list, I had Yi Sang before in the who even are you, you know, category. And honestly, he didn't talk, he didn't say shit, and it was weird because everyone's like, oh, you know, as he started getting more fleshed out, they started saying he's not normally quiet. And then after Canto 4, where he literally wouldn't shut the hell up and started just saying a bunch of random words that I'm convinced didn't exist in the English language, I believe him that he just didn't shut the hell up. So we kind of got to dive in a little bit deeper. This was his Canto, I get it, and honestly, you know what, I'm gonna sit on it. We'll come back to Yi Sang. This is his Canto. We gotta see where the chips are gonna fall on that, okay? Because I got some comments. So we'll come back to you, Yi Sang. How about that? Good old Ishmael. So this is what we're gonna do here. We are gonna talk about Ishmael. She is still rock solid as ever, okay? If it's not Faust keeping everybody on the rails here, I would go as far as saying Mama Bear goes to Ishmael. Just trying to get strong, just trying to do her job, just doing everything she needs to do to keep this bus on the road, okay? She's doing such a great job, and honestly, even though most people didn't have like a prominent role in Canto 4, after leaving Canto 4, I was like, still freaking solid, still amazing character. You know what, I'm gonna actually throw Ishmael up into the amazing character category, because like the more she kind of gets fleshed out, she's like, I'm I'm just trying to just do my job, man. I'm here for the vibes. I'm here to help things kind of stay on track. And then she's kind of like developing more relationships and more personalities with everyone on the bus. And I'm like, you know what? I respect it. I can see your growth happening more and more to the point where even you're bonding with Heathcliff. And I'm like, yo, he doesn't like anybody. And he kind of gets some little one-liners off on you. And you're like, you son of a, ha, ha. And it's those moments right there where I'm like, you know what, Ishmael, you're doing all right. Speaking of Heathcliff, I am going to have a couple things to say. Okay, does he have a solid enough design? Yeah. Is he super edgy? 100%. Is he crazy British? No one will disagree with me on that. It is what it is. But he has made zero strides as a character, other than the fact that sometimes when he gets his ass beat a little bit too much, he goes, all right, whatever, I'm walking away. And I wouldn't really call that character development. I would say that, like, it's the same thing, but with like a different font, you know? It's just a different form of anger to a degree. So like basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop him in the freaking mid. He's mid. He's all right. He hasn't really dazzled me. He's got his bat. He's just angry. That's all he does. He's really, really close to being meh as a character. I'll give him mid, you know, his little bonding kind of thing with like Ishmael, but like it's mid. I don't know. I can't be sold otherwise. This is being generous. This is me being very generous to Heathcliff. So I don't know. Don Quixote. I did not like Don in Cantos 1 through 3. She had charming enough moments, you know, there was that massive like cookout situation that was going on. And I'm like, oh, you know, a little bit of redeeming qualities, kinda, where like she's kind of like chill, but like not chill, still doing her thing, but not doing her thing. And I can tell ever since she got her ass beat by Vergilius, she's kind of calmed down a little bit. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm kind of respecting that a little bit. Okay, wait a minute. There's a little bit of maturity now on this character. And it's moments like that where I'm like, wow, you're really, really trying to like grow as a person. Either that or you're fearful as shit, which is kind of depressing, but that's neither here nor there. But as a whole, though, I am starting to like Don, but like not a lot, but like a little bit, but not a lot. So we're going to put Don in trash tier. Okay, now hear me out. I feel like Don is the worst character. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I would put Don right there with the mid tier. Okay, I put Don in mid tier. Don's like, if Don would not have had a little bit of growth here, it would have been the meh. It'd been like damn near trash, like absolutely damn near trash tier. Mid. I can see the growth. Unironically, I can see the growth. Or even where she's like, I have my rights to uphold. She's still like, I got rights. You know, I got a moral code. You know. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Please don't beat me. So fair. I don't. Next on the list here, we got Gregor, my main man. Once again, didn't have a huge prominent role here in Canto 4, but was still felt, was still known, and was still very true to himself. Now, he didn't have a whole lot to say this Canto, like I had mentioned before, but when he did speak, he was speaking wise. He was speaking from the heart. He was speaking like, hey, we're just people trying to figure it out, man. But we're also just people who keep, you know, dying and coming back to life. But besides that, we're just a chill guy. If I were to say, hey, give me a character in Limbus Company who's just a chill guy, it's literally Gregor. He's the guy. He is the chill guy. And because of that, who is still rock solid. I'm going to put him in the amazing character category. I feel like Gregor is my guy, bro. When I see him, I'm like based. When I see him, I'm like, oh my God, a sense of normalcy in this world of craziness. Love Gregor so much. Love Gregor so much. And I used the blood version of Gregor, and I love his character so much. What stresses people out is I refuse to block. I just won't do it. I don't know what it is, why I tend to just die on this hill. I'm all gas, no brakes. He has a really cool block mechanic, apparently, or something like that. I don't know. I'll never see it. Believe you me, I'll never see it. And that's okay. He's still my guy. Honglu. So he didn't do a whole lot also this Canto. Very few people had like an actual star role in Canto 4. So like my opinion couldn't change too much. But what I will say is that he is like also kind of acclimating to the world more so. And he's still like, I still don't understand things. I may ask some questions, may come off a certain kind of way. But honestly, I'm just here for the vibes. You know, I have a memory that reminded me of that with my butler once. And I'm like, oh, did you? Nice. I'm glad you had that experience, sheltered boy. Proud of you, man. And then that's it. You just walk on and like, all right, cool. Still seems to cut the tension. And now he cuts the tension, but also still kind of adds to the drama a little bit because I just don't understand this. And he like genuinely is like curious, not like a, oh my gosh, I wanted this thing once with like my parents in their Ferrari. Like we're not having those conversations as much. Still there. But he's like, hey, this dawned upon me. And then he adds to the story. He's getting better. He's getting so much better. So I'm going to put him solid character. Solid character. I went from being like, okay, he's not too bad. And I think I might have put him in the same category last time, but there's nothing in between solid and amazing. There's just no gray there. But just know he's getting closer to an amazing character, but like he's just not quite there yet. I'm waiting for something to kind of happen where I'm like, oh shit, I really mess with you. But I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. So that's just me. That's me. Outis. Once again, I will probably say this a few more times throughout this canto. Outis did not have a massive prominent role in this canto. She spoke weirdly less this canto than she did in the previous 3 cantos. And I know it wasn't about her, but you can argue none of the cantos were about her. Yet she still seemed to yap a shit ton during cantos 1 through 3. I digress. With that being said, I feel like, again, Outis still being very teacher's pet, but she's kind of like, she's pulling back. Canto 4 is what I noticed. She's pulling back a little bit, being like, hey, I still support you, manager. I barely like you, I think, manager, but I'm still doing my job, manager. Like, fuck you, but like, I appreciate you, manager. I don't know. So I think I'm kind of like, I think I even had her in like a solid character last time. I feel like she doesn't know who she is anymore, and it's being conveyed more and more, which you would think would give her character development, but it's just putting her in this really weird gray area for me. So I'm going to put her down here in the mid characters. When I see Outis, I'm just like, you know what? As I'm saying this out loud, I'm going to put you in the meh category. I just don't know who you are. And at this point, I don't really care for it. It's weird. I see you, and I'm just like, I don't know. What are you doing? What do you want? What was the point of you even speaking? I would rather listen to Don say some dumb shit than listen to Outis say whatever Outis is about to say. Like, oh, back on the battlefield, we used to. No one cares, Grandpa. No one cares. The war is over. Move on. And that's it. That's all I get from Outis. I don't know. It may change down the road, but Canto 4 did her no favors. Next up, we have ourselves here a Rodion. Okay, we have Rodion, who is the gambling extraordinaire, the gotcha gamer, the woman herself who shows no fear in the eyes of murderers who are at a poker table. Rodion. And what it seems to me, I forget where I put her last time. It might have been like a solid to mid character, maybe. I don't remember where I put her. But what I do know now is, in my heart of hearts right now at this moment for this video in Canto 4, after getting things more kind of like paved over, she didn't have a crazy prominent role as most characters. I know I said I was going to say it again. This may not be the last time I'll say it again. But regardless, when she did speak, it feels like Rodion's getting like softer. Like she's still doing her degen shit. She's still cracking her jokes, but she's also kind of like adding a little bit more like empathy, is from what I understand. I don't know. People could be saying different things, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe she's just kind of chilling. She's just kind of vibing. And because of that, she adds more of a dynamic to the story, in my opinion. So with that being said, I'm going to drop Rodion in the solid no. Amazing no. Solid. Yeah, solid feels right in my chest. I couldn't put her mid. I couldn't give her amazing. Solid feels like the sweet spot there. That's the sweet spot. Solid ass character. When she shows up, I know something's going to be a little bit more dramatic, a little more intense, moving them forward a little bit, you know, a little bit of development. I'm kind of here for it. Solid character. Big fan. That's where Rodion's going to go. We're going to leave her there for right now. So now we're going to get down to the first person who should not be on this tier list, but for some reason is on this tier list, Yuri. It was short-lived, but in honor of my girl Yuri, amazing character. She will be missed. She will be missed, and I have not still recovered. There is a hole in my heart for where Yuri was, and that's where I'm at. Sinclair. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, okay? He has been trying to grow a lot as a character to a degree. He just whines like it's no one's business. Wow, woe is me. Kromer killed my parents and strung them up like piñatas. Oh my God, I'm just gonna whine some more. Like, whatever, we all have trauma. I've talked about it before, I'll say it again. Get over it. We all got shit, you know? I don't know what to say to you about this. And oh my God, my hometown got burned down and there's just a Christmas tree on fire and she burned my family house. Come on, bro. Come on. God, grow up. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw Sinclair down here in the freaking trash tier. I am so sick of this guy. I am so sick of this guy. Please do something other than cry and tell us what Ryoshu is doing all the time with her acronyms. I'm so sick of this guy. I am literally fed up with this dude. Do something. I feel like it's the little meme where he's like poking it in the stick and just saying do something. It never happens. It literally never happens. And it's insane to me that this is still where we're at in the story. I don't know. Fed up. Fed up. Maybe he'll grow on me. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll get worse. Maybe I'll make another tier saying worse than trash. This is a dumpster fire character. But like, you know, we'll just leave it in the trash right now. We'll come back to it. Meursault. Now, I remember vividly in the last tier list, I mentioned Meursault being in the who even are you tier list. My man collectively said 10 words in 3 cantos, and I'm like, dude, what is going on? Who are you? And towards the end of Canto 3, he said a few more things, and I was like, oh, okay, he's kind of a person, maybe, not really, he's a robot, I don't know. Canto 4. Again, this was about Yi Sang, but my man came alive around like 3.5, so the intervolo, and then into Canto 4, my man showed up. Okay, he was like, bro, I can cook, I can kill whatever thing you need me to go and get. I can memorize documents down to the decimal and the parenthesis and the heart and the star. This dude he's the greatest worker ever. He's the greatest spy ever created. He can literally do anything. I'm like, hey, there's a gap in my story. I don't know who I can get to do this thing. Oh my God, Meursault. He's the goated individual. If literally we cut out like half the sinners, Meursault would make up the ground because he's just that amazing of a character. He just is like, hey, listen, I will give you an absolute perfect assessment. No opinions needed. This is what's going on here. Objective, quick, decisive. Oh my God. Listen, I didn't think that I can go from like a who are you to, oh my God, he is such an amazing character in no time flat. Like, I didn't think that was possible. I really didn't. I am a huge fan of Meursault. He's like, hey, it is what it is. I'm here on a job. You want my opinion? I'll give it to you. You need something done? I'll get it done. I'm him, bro. He is literally a himbo. He's Himothy. He's that guy. He's goated. Absolutely goated. Huge fan. Ryoshu, what are we going to do about Ryoshu? Now, Ryoshu is, in my opinion, even up where we're at in Canto 4. Ryoshu, in my opinion, is Heathcliff 2.0. She's angry. She has nothing but contempt most of the time. But she's unique enough to be like, hey, I speak in funny little acronyms that somebody else would kind of jump on and make little fun quips about it. I stay 10 toes down. I'm not always just trying to hit things and be angry for the sake of being angry. She has spider senses, apparently, that adds to the fact that she's like, hey, this is insane. There are assassins right around the corner. How can you not sense that? There's more being shown that she can do other than just be angry and edgy all the time. I'll even say Heathcliff 3.0. Love her so much. Super skilled, super talented, not just unga bunga caveman brain, let's just hit something, angry. Solid character. Absolutely solid character. And honestly, I can't put her like in the amazing category, but she's damn near close. But she is rock solid. gets her job done. She does her character very, very well. And she is starting to show us that she can do more as the story is progressing. I'm like, yo, she's even more talented than I thought she was. And she's not dumb. She's super smart too, which is a little bit more than what Heathcliff can say. I don't know. There's two different bruisers, but like one just not progressing as a person. It's weird. Doing this tier list right now in this moment on my first playthrough, clearing Canto 4, and somehow we're talking about Kromer because for some reason they decided to put her in this tier list. Where am I going to put Kromer? Kromer has such a weird ass cult following. Everybody wants to be stepped on by Kromer. Everybody wants to be spat on by Kromer. They just want Kromer to say very, very inappropriate things constantly to them. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will understand it. Kromer is a genocidal maniac. Absolutely hates prosthetics like you would never believe. We got the flashback arc. Super weird kid, by the way, you know, and those kids you kind of stay away from. Like you kind of like stay friends with them, but like not too close of friends, but like enough where like if things go off the rails, they don't murder you too kind of friend, you know, like, you know, one of those things. I don't get it. I don't get the love. I don't get the appreciation that everyone gives Kromer. I think that she's not misguided. She's just stupid and crazy. And I think if she would just be a little bit more open-minded about things, she'd be in a better spot, honestly. And I just don't understand the hype about it. And there are actually accounts that I see every day when I post on TikTok dedicated to Kromer, Kromer's #1 fan, Kromer's lover, Kromer's like, we love Kromer. Every post there's something about Kromer. It could be nothing about Kromer, and then all of a sudden I love Kromer, just Kromer in the font. And I'm like, how? What is going on right now? I don't even think she was even that compelling of a character. I don't even think I got to the point where like, oh my God, I hate you so much. I need to exact my revenge so we can take you down. I'm like, no, you're just weird. You're just weird. And I know you're a bad guy. And if we let you run loose too far, we get no golden bow. And we also have to deal with you later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Kromer in the trash tier. I didn't think she was that great. I didn't think she was that compelling. I thought she was just another bad guy who would just offer fucking rocker for no reason whatsoever. And honestly, I don't know what else I can say about her. There is no redeemable qualities about Kromer, and I don't think I understand the hype. I don't know. Am I too off base? I have no idea. There is literally nothing with Kromer that I'm like, oh my God, what a great villain. What a great individual. Oh my gosh, you know what? Maybe she just needed a hug or something. No shot. Not a fan. Benefit of the doubt, just so I don't get completely mauled, we'll put her in the meh category, but that's the best I'm gonna be able to do for her. That's it. That's it. I truly do believe that like no one deserves to be on the same level as Sinclair unless you really just like really messed up. So we'll throw her in there with Outis. I'm leaving it right there. Moving on in the tier list, we have ourselves here Vergilius. Vergilius is even more standoffish than ever before in Canto 4. He shows up in the beginning, he shows up in the end, he shows up nowhere in the middle, really, I don't think. And that's just it. He's just this kind of weird entity that exists, doesn't exist, and then will occasionally beat Don Quixote. That just lives rent-free in my mind at this point. I'm sorry. So with that being said, I don't hate him. I don't love him. We'll just drop him in the mid tier and we'll call it a day because he's just kind of there. He's strong. He's very on brand with himself. He doesn't really waver. He just kind of like, you know, he's not really a chill guy, but he's kind of a chill guy. I don't know. We'll leave him here in the mid character. Like he hasn't done anything yet. We now have Captain Vroom Vroom herself. And honestly, I still hold to the fact that basically she's just the pom-pom of this game, you know, with a little bit sadder of a pom-pom from Honkai Star Rail. And honestly, I wouldn't put her in the mid tier. I think she has enough personality that she adds to the game. She's still a likable enough character. I'll put her in the solid character. You know, she gets where we need to go. You know, we can go from point A to point B. We get the job done. She brings a little bit of the energy. We're on the bus, and then all of a sudden, you know, she's like, hey, insert some funny quip here or something super cute, or insert Christmas music because it's her favorite song that's not Mariah Carey. And I'm like, I'm feeling good. We're back on the bus again, you know? I'm a fan, solid character. I will leave her there. She does what she needs to do very well. That's my opinion, and we'll leave it there. Good old manager Dante. He had a lot to say, and I think he grew a lot as a character this Canto. He's trying to find his role as the manager. He's trying to like step up where he needs to step up, step back where he thinks he should step back. He's like, hey, I'm trying to be here for the team. They still don't respect him a whole lot, but they respect him a little bit more than they did in the past. And he's looking into people a little bit more. And in this Canto, he really was paying attention to Yi Sang, and he was like, oh my God, I think he needs some more attention because he's going through it right now, but he's going through it quietly. There was a moment in this Canto where he rewound the clock and he healed Yi Sang, but Yi Sang still had an injury. You know, he had that like hole in his back or whatever the heck it was. And Yi Sang just didn't say anything. And when he noticed that, he was like, yo, that's crazy. I don't think my guy's okay. And he's starting to notice a lot more. He's leaning into that manager role a lot more. And honestly, I'm kind of here for it. I'm going to put him in the solid character category. Very solid. He's the most like, there's Gregor, who's like a down-to-earth character, but I feel like if I got isekai'd into a game like this, I would probably have a lot of comments just like him. And he's getting more relatable as time goes on, and I'm a big fan of that. Very big fan of the relatability of this character, and I don't know, we'll see where it goes. He could be in the amazing character category down the road, but as of right now, super solid. He was kind of okay in before, but as we go through the Cantos, solid. Very, very solid. All right, everybody, the man of the hour. I had to save him for last. This was literally his Canto. In the last tier list, I created a tier called Who Even Are You? Because he just didn't talk. And like I mentioned before earlier in the video, he didn't say a whole lot of things collectively, just a handful of words, and then he kind of let it go. Dark and broody, wanted to say a couple poetic things, and that was about it. In this Canto, they fleshed out his character a lot more. I'm gonna do like a critique, and then I'm gonna do some positives, okay? I think Yi Sang is a boring character, straight up. I think that he's a boring character in the sense that he just kind of like, dude, I just want to vibe. I want to exist. I want to be left alone most of the time. If someone tells me to do something, I'm just going to do it. I want to be happy, but I also just want to be essentially left alone to play with my things because I lost all my friends. And even when I had all my friends, I was just a loner. Boring. Just boring. On the plus side, I think he is very intelligent. I think he is very poetic. I think he's overly poetic to the point where you're pissing. Wait. These are positives. I'm back. Very poetic, very smart, and can assess certain situations very well. And I think he added a certain layer to how we use the mirror and how that came about and what's going to be going forward. His plot line and story helps set the ball in motion for a lot of the big bads like Goobo, like what's her face with the pantsuit or whatever she's doing with, I forget what her name is off the top of my head, Herman. So with Goobo and Herman, this right here really kind of started shedding some light on that situation and more of what they're about, which like you can't have that storyline without Yi Sang. So like that, this whole situation about like depth and happiness and all these different mirror realities and how they're all basically our reality, but different facets of our reality that have existed in us the entire time. Very deep, very profound, huge fan. He still bores me. So I'm going to throw him in the section where I think he most deserves, which is definitely going to be, he's mid. He's all right. He's cool. He went, honestly, he went from like oh God, who is this guy? Why won't he shut up? What is going on? To like, oh, okay, he's got a little bit of complexity to him, to like, you know, he's all right. He's all right. He's not a bad guy. I wish there'd be more to it, but he's all right. And then he says dumb shit like slant-wise, and then I'm back out. Then I'm back out. All right, so this is gonna be my Canto 4 tier list. This is where I currently think everyone stands right now at the end of Canto 4. We are now about to be doing the intervolo here pretty soon into Canto 5. I'm not 100% sure whose story is gonna get fleshed out next in Canto 5, but as everyone kind of reacts to certain things differently, this list will change. And we're going to update this list after every single main canto until we're caught up, and then we'll still do it down the road. But as of right now, as a newer player kind of learning all these characters, this is where things stand right now. So what are your thoughts? Write me some comments. Don't make them too mean. Please don't cook me. I'm just a chill guy. Do 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 boo boo boo. Oh God. Okay. Listen, just cut me some slack. I'm trying here. I'm freaking out. Okay, so thank you again. Like and subscribe, other YouTube thingies. Make me look cool on YouTube because I'm really trying and I need friends and I want to look cool. So there's that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna cut it now. Oh God, this is terrible. I should work on it was like an entrance, not an entrance, an exit. Ah, God, I'm an idiot.